This is Richard Fowler. I'm John Kilpatrick. We're with Okolona Aikido, Louisville, Kentucky, USA. And a big part of what we do is make ourselves invisible. And O-sensei, people would say about O-sensei that they thought he must teleport because they would go to attack him and he would disappear and then reappear behind them. And so I think he was doing something very much like what we're doing here. This is where we got the idea. So I want to show you this. Now to do this, when you do this movement we're about to do, your hands move first. So your hands start moving and then your body moves. And that's very important. And for you to have time, your hands have to be up. So you can't start this with your hands down. And you know, almost everybody that talks about real world self-defense, and self-defense is where somebody in the situation doesn't want to be there. And you know, everybody says have your hands up. And the reason they say that is because that's what works. So what I would like for you to do when you're doing these exercises, and right now these are exercises, I don't want you to worry about getting stabbed or anything, I want you to do the exercises, is that you bring your face between your hands. Your lead hand, the lead hand that goes with your lead foot here, we'll change sides, but right now he's going to stab with his right hand. I'm going to have my left foot forward. That's the way you do it in Aikido. I have my right hand on my left side of my face and my left hand on the right side of my face so that I'm in this position. And what you've got to learn to do these techniques or to do these exercises is that I'm going to take my hand and move it in a straight line between my eye and his eye that is toward the side I'm going to. So if I'm coming to this side, I'm going to put the palm of my hand over his eye. Now I'm not going to hit him. I'm not poking my fingers in his eyes. I mean, if you want to hurt somebody, I guess you could, but we never want to hurt each other in class. But we want our techniques to actually work in class. So we don't want to be doing techniques that require us to hit our partner, but we can't practice by beating on our partners. Now, in a lot of the videos with Richard, he wears a helmet. He likes to wear the helmet. But we really accept that Richard likes to be beat on. We don't beat on each other. And that's not part of this. So don't get the idea that what we're really doing is gouging the guy's eye. What we're really doing is keeping him from looking at us. If I go to his other side, if he's standing in this hami, so that he'd be stabbing with that hand, if I'm going to the other side, this goes over the eye that's toward me here. So I'm going to, this is what we're doing. And this is takes time to learn to do. It sounds really simple, doesn't it? I have my hand, I put it in front of my eye, and I go right to his eye. That just sounds so simple, but it's, for some reason, it is simple, but for some reason it's not easy for a lot of people. And so some people, when they do this, for some reason they tend to drop their hand. Well, my hand's down here, he sees me with no trouble, and for some reason, he looks at my eyes. I am my eyes for some reason. And that's what he's seeing. And if this hand is going straight at his eye, that's all he sees, is that hand coming at his eye. That's all his nervous system is concerned about. So this is going to come straight in here. And so what this would look like, now we get our standard distance for Aikidos where our weapons don't touch. This is the way you should practice. And he's just going to stab. And I don't have to do much. When he stabs, all I did was I just extend my hand to his eye, and I don't even have, I'm so used to doing this, I don't have to look too much. But it is very important that you look at that eye. And you've got to hit that eye, and really with both of you moving and you know all this dynamic stuff going on, if you don't look at it, you won't be able to hit it. Also, one of the things that he's likely to do, and something that Richard loves to do, is when you come in there, he ducks. He ducks under it. Well, if you're not looking at the eye, you'll miss his head completely and he'll get you. So, so you have to look. So when he comes in, this hand is coming straight into his eye. Now, I haven't been using this other hand. The other hand pulls him in. So this is kind of funny. I'm not talking about the reflex control much here. But this hand is threatening him, and this hand is pulling him toward me. So I'm giving him all kind of mixed cues that mess up his reflexes pretty thoroughly. And you'll notice that I don't have to be fast here. I'm hardly moving. Now when we're actually doing freestyle, I'm moving a lot more than this. But I want, for learning this exercise, it's not important. Don't get the idea you have to be any great athlete. I'm certainly not. What you do have to do is start on time. As soon as he starts to move, you have to start to move. You have to start to move before you know what he's doing. You're responding to your peripheral vision. You're moving very, very early. So then if I'm going to do the whole thing, or at least, yeah, I'll do the whole thing without the son's throw. So I'm here. See, now, so I have come in with my first, I knocked his glasses off his head, but when I come in with this first hand, I hit, and then immediately I'm replacing it with the second hand and coming in for my throw. So, and you'll notice I have to get behind him. And this is why I don't want you parrying or anything now. If you, for one thing, you've got to get where you find out this works. Now when you do this exercise, ask your partner to tell you whether he could see you or not. And so I've already said that people tend to let their hands drop. People might come in over here for some reason. They cover the wrong eye, or they're between the eyes, or something weird. Well, the guy can still see you. It doesn't work as well. It probably works some. It might work a lot, but it doesn't work as well. Sometimes people's hand, you know, people just do weird things. You'll find out that you're a lot stranger than you think you are. So this has to be straight. Now, you can do this coming from, let me do this on the other side, so change hands so that people can see this from the other side. So when he starts to come, you know, I'm right here, and I didn't draw enough there. I'm really concerned with showing this. So this hand is right over that eye. My wrist is here, where it covers his peripheral vision. If I have my hand like this, his peripheral vision can see me. So my wrist is here, and now I change hands as I move my hands in position for the throw. I can do this the other way. So if I'm going to go, now I'm doing the same movement, still leading with this front hand, but if I'm going to do the other side of his body, I can do that. So I'm coming here and then putting this here and doing some, or I might leave this here and do something else, but I'm coming in for that throw. And I'm doing the same thing. Each time, get your partner to tell you whether your partner could see you or not. Even if the partner doesn't stab you, if they could see you, you still didn't get it right. So get this right. And you can also, if I'm in, you know, you have formal ways you practice in Aikido, and that's good, but we don't stick with them. Actually, as you get into this leading stuff, get into the kind of thing we're doing, it becomes really obvious that Aikido practice basically is designed for these movements. Aikido practice in a lot of ways is different from other martial arts, and this practice obviously is for these movements. But we're still going to make it a little more flexible than it is. So if he's stabbing there, you'd never do this in a, okay, we'll do this side. If he's stabbing there and I'm in this hami, I'm in what we call ahami, you'd never do that in Aikido practice, but you know, in real life, somebody may not have been taught Aikido well and they may do the wrong thing. So when he does that, I'm going to step forward with my back foot, lead with this hand, and cover his eye with my back hand. So if he comes in, see, and I'm pulling here, and now I come on in and do my throw, just as before. So this is the detail of what we're doing to cover up our partner's eyes so we disappear. And it's much, when you get this right, without getting this right, it's really hard to keep the guy from touching you with that stick. And one of the key things to keeping the guy from being able to mark you up with the stick is getting this movements, these eye covering movements, done well. So if you're trying, I don't know how many of you are trying to do what we talk about here, but if you're trying to do it, pay close attention to this and learn to get these movements where they keep your partner from seeing where you're going.